Welcome back to the Why Writing podcast. This is what a good day, because when you're around Chris Cable, you can't help but smile. It's absolutely, you're like such a positive person. Your smile is a trademark of who you are. And if you don't know who he is, then you don't live in Shasta County, because he's every corner of this community, every given point of the day. You've got your hand in just about everything, but majority of people should know you first and foremost through your business. Please introduce yourself as through that lens first.
Wow. Thank you, Cassandra. My name's Chris Cable. I'm the owner of Caliber Office Furniture here in Redding. That was quite the introduction. Thank you.
Well, you are everywhere. Again, like as a transplant to this community, you were one of the first people that I came across at fundraisers.
That's right. We
I
did.
came across you once, and then I was like, oh, that guy was really friendly, thinking nothing of it. And then I came across you again at a different one, and then again at a different one, and then again at a different one. So you have your office furniture store first. That's your job. That's your business.
Yes.
How long have you had that here in Redding and in Shasta County?
So we just celebrated our 16th year of being in business in April of this year. I've been in the furniture industry since 1995, kind of started locally here. But yeah, it's fun having my own business and being my own boss.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So for you, are you a hometown boy? Were you born and raised here?
Nope. So I was raised in Southern California in a couple different towns. I did high school in San Diego County in a little mountain town called Julian. And after I graduated, it was family tradition for our family members to go to Simpson College.
Oh.
Now it's Simpson University. So
Okay.
my cousin and I are the same age. He was from SoCal, and we said, let's go. So we went to Redding, came up here for their Genesis program, checked it out, loved it. And I said, if I'm not going to go into Cal Fire, I might as well go to Simpson. So Cal Fire said no, Simpson said yes. So here I am.
Interesting. Okay, so you stayed.
Yes.
And when you graduated, what was the trajectory that made you feel comfortable and confident enough in the community that you were in to start a business? And I'm leading this question to you because I think that there's the rumor that flies around that it's hard to find people to work and that it's hard to have an established business here. And I meet a lot of people who are very successful, like yourself. So what gave you the confidence to do that?
I wasn't expecting to ever be a business owner. I fell into it on accident, and right around 2008 to 2009, the economy wasn't so well, and I was still doing good selling furniture at a different location. Well, that one was struggling. I had to leave, or I got let go, and a friend of mine said, you're going to start your own business, and I'm going to help you. Yeah. So he took me by the hand, said, let's go to Secretary of State in Sacramento. And we signed up, got my business license pretty much instantly.
Yeah.
Just created an LLC.
Yeah.
I was up and running in 3 weeks, created the name Caliber Office, got the domain registered. I had no clue what I was doing, but I just knew from my business sense, because I have a business degree from Simpson. And I said, okay, let's do this smart. We started super small and humble, and just were in an office half the size of this room. I had a storage unit that was my warehouse, and we just remained humble, and we made it. And when I started, I already had like maybe 15 years worth of clients begging me to start my own business. And they have followed me everywhere I go. We've had growth ever since.
That's awesome. Okay, so in a business like yours, to be able to go from working for somebody else and selling furniture to then having your own tiny little office space and people begging to work with you. I don't know many people that beg to work with people in such a manner. That says a lot about character, is what I'm reading there. Is that says a lot about that you value the people in which you're circling, not just in them as a business transaction, but that they're a part of the community that you live and serve in.
Yeah, I think what helped was because I started as an installer, installing furniture in this community, and I had that customer service face. I was the face of the company at the last company I worked for. And the customers loved me. They loved how smiley and professional and courteous and thorough I was. And once they saw that I was a salesperson, they're like, of course we're going to work with you. And then once they heard I'm a business owner, they're like, of course we're going to go with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just continuing with that customer service, always saying yes, never saying no, saying if we can't do it, we'll figure it out kind of attitude. So it's kind of worked.
You've established a sense of trust.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Yes.
you have. I will brag about you a little bit that you didn't know I was going to do. I think that something that you also do within the community is that you are really good at giving back through your time and effort and you know clubs that you're a part of and whatnot, but you also do it through your business. And I think that there's a lot of there's becoming a lot of people more actively being charitable
Yeah.
with their businesses, because it can be kind of tricky, because what you give to, you then become established by, right?
Right.
But I noted that there's a couple nonprofits that you've donated products to, places that really need it, that serve children, women, people going through some really rough and tough times. You've donated to churches and education center. You really you make sure that what you do donate and the people that do receive are people that are truly in need. And I think that again, it just speaks really true to your heart. You jump in other ways. Tell me about some of the fundraiser and activities. Like, I met you at Girls Inc. one time. How'd you get involved in something like that?
Oh, goodness. The director of Girls Inc. is a friend of mine named Heather, and we did leadership writing together. So we had that bond. And as soon as one of the other board members, who's a really good friend of mine, she asked me if I'd consider being a board member with Girls Inc. And I said, well, that sounds fun. I'd love to be on a board with you. I'm sure we would kill it raising funds. And I'm like, what is it? It's like, what's Girls Inc.? So I'm like, but I'm a guy. And they're like, it's okay. You're behind the scenes. You're not mentoring to girls. I'm like, good. And then I saw Heather is the director. I'm like, of course I'm going to support Heather. And so I jumped in, and when I'm on a board, I don't want to just be passive. I give it my all, and I make sure my time is going to be used the best to my ability. So, and it's been pretty successful. I hope I'm doing all the right things and bringing the right energy in there. And the board has grown tremendously. I think we had maybe 6 board members, and now we're at 13 or 14. So
That's awesome. What's the primary goal of Girls Inc.?
So we go, when I say we, it's our staff at Girls Inc. They go into some of the schools that allow us to be there, and we have a program for these middle school girls to do either during like recess time or break time, whatever their lunchtime is, or after school. And it just teaches these girls how to do everything from personal hygiene to escaping bullies to recognizing trauma that they might be going through.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, gosh, I can't say too much about it, but it's been a really good program. We also have a site. It's right between Parsons and Enterprise, so it's a really good location for after school activities. Mm-hmm. So our staff that's there brings in a lot of the girls after school too, and they do like camping retreats as well, and it's created a really good spot for these young ladies to come and just escape when they need to escape and have a safe place to tell their stories too. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you can support and can be a part of that. I know you brought up leadership writing. It's something that I've talked about on this podcast before. It's really exciting. This is going to air. We're going to be showing this in May. And at that time, leadership writing is going to be reaching out and getting in touch with those that are going to be in the new class. Mm-hmm. We'll be starting to get notifications. So leadership writing, I'll give my quick synopsis of what it is, and you can fill in the blanks. But it is a way for individuals in the community to get to know the inner workings of the community better, more efficiently. You get to know everything from health and safety to waste management to government to education. It covers a lot of ground.
Yeah.
You learn, it's really educational. You get together with a group of people and then you create a project and ways to act on maybe some of the deficiencies that you kind of all see and agree upon in the community, and take that deficiency and turn it into a positive and say, okay, we may not like this in its current state. How can we act upon that and make it better? You were class of what? And everyone says best class ever.
I was class of 2013.
Best class ever.
I enjoyed my classmates, yes.
Of course. So for you, what was the reason that you got in?
Somebody encouraged me, and I want to say it was my friend Mimi Mosley, and she says, you should try this. So I applied. You have to be interviewed through the process, and I passed the interview process. They allowed me in. And it was honestly one of the best times of my adult life within that whole year of 2012 to 2013 when it was happening. I wish I could do it again. It kind of, if I were to go through it again, I know what's happening. So there's a lot of things that are unpredictable about it. So anybody who's going through it, I envy them because they get to go through and experience that for the first time. So, and it's just one day a month. It's like one Thursday out of the month. So it wasn't like a big time waster or time that you had to plan for. And then there's a retreat to kick it off. And that retreat was amazing. The class project was a lot of fun. It was just, so you'll never forget the classmates that you have. It's just relationships that'll last forever. Mm-hmm. So, and it's like when I see an alumni that I went through the class with, it's been maybe 6 years, we pick up where we left off. We're like, oh my gosh, we just have that connection, like a brotherly, sisterly kind of a bond. It's fun.
Uh-huh.
So
what was your class project?
So I was kind of in charge of everything in my class.
Believe this. Yeah. I believe this.
Nobody would step up. And if I'm going to jump in, I'm going to give it my all. So nobody came up with a project. So I said, this is what we're going to do. I'm a hobby farmer. So I said, I'm going to do what I know. And back then, before it was called One Safe Place, it was called Women's Refuge. And they had a different safe house where they're not now. And I said, hey, how about we put in some garden boxes at the Women's Refuge? So Wonderful. We did. So we built like 2 or 3 garden boxes, put in the irrigation and the soil and the plants, and all the tenants that lived there, the residents that lived there, they were able to tend to it. And when they moved away from that and they became One Safe Place, they took that idea and they created a gigantic garden with garden boxes that I didn't have a part of. Somebody put it in, I'm sure. But it was kind of like, so my boxes are gone, but the idea is still there.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Totally. Well, I was able to be at a leadership writing function, and you received an award.
I did.
Of course you did. You get a lot of awards. You get a lot of accolades because you're so involved in the community. What was your award? Was it a lifetime?
No, it was just the Leadership Writing Alumnus of the Year. And I've always heard of them. I've always seen them. I'm like, I wonder how that person got nominated for that. Good for them. They chose a good person.
Because you're still maintained a lifetime with the organization.
And here it is. I don't know how many years later, but it's 15 years later. I'm winning this. It was not on my radar. I did not have that on my bingo card for this year that I was going to get something like that.
Yeah, right. Speech was written. And writing it for years, just waiting to get picked.
I'm pretty sure I winged it, but I can't remember.
That's awesome. So you've got Girls Inc., you've got leadership writing. You also do volunteer work in the community. What do you do there? And what's your reasoning for doing that?
I just I love our community. And if there's a need, I have a hard time saying no, especially if it's just my time. So I was a mentor for a while with Catalyst Mentoring. Uh-huh. I did that for about 2 or 3 years, about 3 years. I would still be doing it. I just, I lost focus for it. I've been actually meaning to jump back into that. Today, I'm actually going to Sundial Assisted Living to assist with an event they're doing there. So I'm just going to put on a suit and escort the residents there to some party that they're going to. So
your smile is because they picked you for your smile.
It must be.
They're like, he'll look cute in a suit and he's got a big smile.
And I say yes every time.
And he says yes to everything, and everyone knows him. And
I'm sure there's other areas I volunteered. People usually have to remind me, hey, thanks for donating this. Hey, thanks for volunteering here. I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot I did that. So it's hard for me to keep track of it all.
Yeah. Well, it's really cool though. So, you moved here for college.
Yes.
And what was it aside from, getting a job right out of college, that what is it that's kept you here? What is it that speaks to you? What's your why Reading stay story?
Well, when when we decided to start a family here, we realized this isn't a bad community to raise kids in. So my kids are homeschooled. She's the homeschool teacher, and everything is here perfectly for raising your kids through a homeschool rather than like in the big city. I'm sure big cities are just fine, but imagine having things like Turtle Bay Museum just to say, hey kids, today we're going to the museum to learn about whatever they have in their new project. We have river trails that are paved. We can walk in each direction. There's trails everywhere. You're 45 minutes from the mountains. There's lakes, there's streams, there's fishing, there's hiking, there's kayaking. There's so much to do around here. And for us to say, hey kids, today's PE is going to be super fun, they get it. So
Yeah.
it's a good community to raise kids in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like you have proven, a good place also to be a business person. How did you started with a mentor, somebody that wanted to help build you up? How many employees do you have now?
I currently have, we're kind of doing a minimalist thing right now. There's only three of us that are full time, and the rest are just through temp agencies because I see how smart it is to use a temp agency. It's hard to keep warehouse guys full time busy right now. So I like to use the temp agencies, and they take care of us in that realm. But if I can ever find somebody who wants to stay in this gig in the warehouse and doing all the installs, great. I'll train them and keep them there. But it's a lot of turnover. It's a hard work to install furniture. It's heavy
Yeah.
and it's hot.
Yeah. Yes, I was staging a property yesterday, getting ready for it. I 100% understand that.
Yes.
Picking up couches it's an easy thought. You're like, I'll just move that one over there, but actually doing the act and
Yeah, couches are a
wrapping
breeze.
them
It's the
and
desks that are the heavy ones.
pieces and parts.
Yes.
For sure. So if you had a friend who didn't know the why and all the cool, great things here about Reading, and they had one day, what would be here's what you need to do in Reading proper for one day?
That's a great question. It's kind of crazy to think about, but the Sundial Bridge is such a focal point in this town right now. It's in the middle of town. When you're driving down the freeway, you can usually see it. You can see it coming down out of the mountains of Shingletown. And it's a glass bridge, so people, they're drawn to that. And then there's the gardens on the other side. So, and then you can go down below and check out the river. It's just a nice, cool, usually year-round kind of a thing to do. It used to be, hey, let's go to Shasta Dam and throw rocks over the edge, but you can't do that anymore. So the bridge isn't so bad. I do like some of the local restaurants that we do around here too that we have, and so it's like try our local spot, and I don't know. There's always something to do around here. And with me, I have this farm, 5-acre farm. So they're usually stopping through town if they've never been here to check out the farm and check out all the animals and the little petting zoo that I have. So
Totally.
there's that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that people don't notice or give our downtown as much thought as it deserves.
You're not wrong. It's definitely blossomed. I love our new downtown. Yes.
It really has. So if you were to do a downtown night, what's your park and what's your hits?
Oh, goodness. Well, with the new Reading Public Market, it's just so brand new. And it's fun to kind of walk through and experience everything. I just, off the top of my head, there's a few new restaurants around there, like Taroco's is kind of new, and that's kind of fun to check out. I know there's a few other restaurants. I can't think of what they're called. Pipeline, I think, is another new one.
Delicious.
So there's just all these places you can just bounce around to, and they're crazy packed out and busy, which is good for them. But yeah, you can actually walk through what used to be the downtown mall, and it was just so shady and weird and homeless people. They have revitalized it in such a way. It's fun to walk through, and there's bakeries everywhere. You're like, ooh, let's go down here and check this out. And yeah, I love how it's developing very much.
Yeah. Okay, I have two more questions for you. One, what would you like to see more of in Reading?
I think we need a little bit more entertainment for the locals. Like, if you're thinking of what can we do for date night, there's really not a lot of ideas that you can do around here that should be here.
You can still throw rocks.
You can still throw rocks, yes. Off the bridge.
You can always throw rocks.
Yes.
Okay. And then my second question is, what would be one thing that you would tell people or that you would like people to know more about this community if they are giving it consideration or if they're giving this area thought? What would be something you would say about our community?
I would warn them how hot it is, and
It's like
in the
it's like Arizona.
summertime.
Just think Arizona.
Yes,
It gets warm.
it's not a dry heat though.
It gets warm.
Yeah, it's warm here. So you warn them about that first of all, because I hate to just say it's wonderful here, and they're like, "You didn't tell me it was 115 for 3 weeks." Like, sorry, but it gets warm. But that's why we have all these wonderful lakes, so you can go cool off.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much to do here if you like to be outside, and it's not a big city feel. You're 2 hours from the airport if you need to go somewhere. Yes, we have our own airport and it can bounce you to San Francisco and there you go. But I just love how much there is to do around here, to like bike ride or go for runs or kayak and stand up paddle boards and fishing, and there's hunting, and you can go to the ocean in 3 hours. I mean, there's just so much to do. You can go snow skiing an hour north and water skiing 10 minutes north. So there's just so much to do.
Okay, so I know you have a farm. Do you hunt?
I don't hunt.
I was gonna say, is that hard for you to hunt?
No, I never got into hunting. I don't have hunting gear. But raising my own animals, that's, farm fresh meat right there. So I'm good.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What is something that you would like to see for the future of Reading?
For the future, I don't know. It seems like it's growing really well. I know the Stillwater Business Park is slowly starting to fill in. As a business owner, I want to see like that fill in as well. We love servicing our community in every facet. So the more we grow, the more successful my business is as well. I want to see a lot more of like the homeless approach, where we can get people off the streets, get it cleaned up a lot more. I hate seeing all the little camps under the bridges wherever you go. Right. It's like, we're better than that. Let's clean them up and take care of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, awesome. Okay, so I really appreciate all the time that you've given me today. I think that you are a perfect example of the quality of people that we have here, helping out from activities at the senior center, escorting in your suit and your smile, to leadership, to business, and the way that you operate your business and the way that people are driven to you and want to work with you says, trust and responsibility. So tell everybody, for your business, where can they find you online?
So it's our online website is caliberoffice.com.
Okay.
And we keep it really up to date, or we try to. So it's pretty fresh. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. It's really easy to find us there too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I appreciate it. You can find this and all episodes on CassandraSandmeyer.com. This is a Why Writing podcast, and I'm really thankful for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having me
doing
here.
this.